Welcome back. My name is Artur Ganszyniec. I was the lead story designer on The Witcher, and now I'm playing the game after 18 years with some designer's commentary. And today,
My balls itch.
in this episode, we will finally go and see the swamps. The infamous second part of the second chapter. So we will be leaving the temple quarter of Vizima and go sightseeing. I really like the city, how it looks. I feel very nostalgic walking those streets at night, even in this shitty weather. So here's the gate to Dyke, and from that we'll be taking a boat to the swamps. But first, a flashback.
Geralt, good to see you. Where are you going?
To the dike.
No passage. Captain forbids it.
Why?
Captain's orders. Talk to him.
Gentlemen, that's no way to treat a hero. Geralt, the Witcher that saved Vizima from a terrible cockatrice.
A hero? Well, that changes things.
He's almost one of us.
In that case, please pass, Master Geralt. We'll drink your health at the inn.
Thanks, Siegfried. A surprise in the sewers. A night of the Flaming Rose, soaked in stench from head to foot. I usually work alone, but this was an opportunity to see a knight in action. I must say he did rather well for a human. That was rare gratitude he showed.
So, as you can see, thanks to the choice we've made at the beginning of the chapter, we decided to fight the cockatrice along the knight Siegfried. So, thanks to this choice, we got free passage to Dyke. And this is nice in such a way that it spares us some, running around and trying to find another way to pass through the gate. But at the same time, it renders one of the game systems almost useless because without helping Siegfried, we would have to get a signet ring from Vincent, the guard captain, and use it, show it to the guards here, and they will open the door for us. And as you can see, theoretically, we are still trying to use the signet ring mechanism here in second chapter, but we're not putting much of our hearts into it because the signet ring from the guard captain was needed for this gate to Dyke and to enter the Lebioda hospital, but because to get the ring you had to finish a certain quest line, we haven't done it yet, so it was like story gated. And the player has a huge freedom here in which sequence to do the quests, so it was very frustrating that we couldn't go there because for some players finish the quest line very early, and some players like us haven't done it yet. So we added this flashback here to smooth it out, and the guard in front of the Lebioda hospital can be bribed. So theoretically we have the signet ring system, but in practice it's not really used here. And the Dyke looks pretty okay. I mean, we have a really nice view here. Okay, we'll be looking at the views later because first we have to kill some drowners because they've already spotted us. And while killing them, I'll talk a little about the history of this location. So, as you can see, this is a pretty small location, just a dike between two parts of the city, with a pretty nice view. We'll meditate till morning and then marvel at the views. And so you may wonder, why did we need such a small location? And the answer is that well, it was a showcase location. The main purpose of the dike was to show off, to see how much our programmers managed to squeeze out of the Aurora engine. Because as for this technology, this view is the starry night and the water. The view is pretty awesome for the technology. So the main purpose for the location was that it was part of a demo or something that was presented on one of the conferences or industry events. So the main purpose was it was to look beautiful, and it does for for the technology. So that's why it is such a small location, because the graphics is pretty heavy, and we didn't need many NPCs here. It's just so we could take a look and and show off a bit. So we will meditate till morning, but first we have some talents to spend. Okay, and meditate till dawn. Okay. And I remembered a funny story about this location, because as you can see, it is also pretty spectacular during the day.
No bigger drunk than a raftsman in his hollowed-out trunk.
We just talk to some NPCs.
I always end up depending on myself.
Fried perch, an exquisite repast.
Pike can be good too.
Don't frighten the fish.
You're doing most of the talking.
They're accustomed to me. Besides, you speak of pike.
Good luck.
I really love talking with NPCs in the first Witcher, because some of those dialogues are pretty absurd, but they always also show that those people have their own lives, their own way of thinking, and they are not at all focused on your grand story. They just talk about fish and stuff like this. And talking about fish, when we go, I think it was here. When we go here, we can see, sometimes we can see fish swimming in the water. We'll just try to find some. Okay, here they are. Just fish swimming in the water. So when the location was ready for this industry event, it was of course tested over and over, and just before the final build was made, the fish was added. Someone added the fish, and didn't really test them. And back then the internet was not so good, so you had to, and the build was huge, bigger than CD-ROMs than we had there, so bigger than CDs. So it had to be built on a computer, and the computer had to be sent by plane to the event. And there was no room for any last minute patches or stuff like this. That was just out of the question. And it turned out that the fish had, I think they had too big a texture, and when you looked at them, when the camera looked at them, the game immediately crashed. They immediately crashed to the desktop. So the people showcasing the location had to learn a way of showing the beautiful vistas and stuff like this, but never looking at this particular part of the screen where the fish were, because then the game would crash. And they managed, but this is game dev. So the last thing here is that we can see the whole of Vizima, the temple quarter. Here is, I think, the merchant quarter. There on the horizon is the old manor, like the old part of Vizima, the place where the previous king's castle was. That's the place where the intro was played out. So the castle was abandoned because of the Striga, and is still abandoned. And here is the old Vizima, the old part of town that is now used.
Beyond that gate, the Catriona plague kills dozens every day. I have a feeling the quarantine's useless.
So what they do, they just, if someone is sick with the plague, they just put them there behind the gates in the old Vizima and just, hope for the best. So this is like a, dying ground.
In the war, I served under Bronibor in the PFI.
So this location also serves as a sort of foreshadowing. So here is Merchant Vizima, and back there is the new King's Castle. I think we'll be talking more about those two quarters in the third chapter. And here is like the place that is now. There's no writing here, but in the previous version of the location, during the production, it was in this Witcher script. It was written fried fish here, like smażalnia, like it's a Polish name for places usually in tourist location when they sell fried fish to tourists. So it was like sort of Polish vacation vibe stuff. And this old manor here is a foreshadowing of the
Merchants complain of drowners, but we respect
of the things to come in the story. Okay, so before we go to Swamp, we'll talk to our old friend from Act 1.
You again? They let you into town?
Are you Lou Varden?
I am.
Let's talk.
Yes?
It is strange that Geralt asks, "Are you Luvarden?" because they've met in chapter 1.
I buried your friend.
Sad to end up in some forgotten village.
It was a decent burial. He got his own sarcophagus.
Well, I thank you. Wholeheartedly.
Forgetting something?
All right. Your 200 orns. Yes?
I heard creatures threaten the transport of goods.
Yes, I assume you're not asking for curiosity's sake.
I'm hoping someone will pay for their removal.
I may. The dog by the swamp is crucial to my business. The creatures have caused me losses.
What are the beasts like?
Drowners. They emerge at night, destroying goods and murdering carriers. I'll pay 400 orns to be rid of them.
A pleasure doing business.
Indeed.
So as you can see, and in the books it was the same. Geralt usually works for rich people, sometimes for the gentry, for aristocrats, but usually for merchants or craftsmen, and it's usually stems from economical reasons, like a monster is disturbing business and they pay a specialist to get rid of them, just like you call a rat catcher or the guy that kills insects and stuff, and if the problem is bigger, you just call a witcher.
Let's talk.
Yes?
I seek the Sephiroth stones. I haven't yet located them all. I thought you might know such art and oddities.
I once purchased one for its magical potential, which turned out false. And I paid a mage a costly sum for the examination.
Then would you sell it to me?
Sell my Tipparath? I'm rather fond of it.
I'll give you a good price.
500 orns?
I didn't think it was worth so much. But all right.
I wear Tipparath as an amulet. We can deal right now.
I don't have the money yet, but I'll bring it soon.
No hurry. I'm not that eager to make the trade.
Okay, so we need to find out those 10 like magical stones or something like that for Kalkstein, who needs them to open the tower on the swamp, and I can't find the quest, but in the glossary there is a list of those 10 magical stones, 10 Sephiroth. And as you can see, 3 of them are grouped together, and that's because at some point we realized that making the player go for like 10 small sub-quests to make a bigger quest, it was just too tedious. So at some point we decided to group 3 of the Sephiroths in one place, and now we are looking for a ferryman because we need to cross the lake to go to the swamp. Oh.
Transport services at the best prices.
Take me to the other side.
Times are wasting. Made up your mind? Ready to go?
How many times are you going to ask me that? To the swamp.
We added those dialogue because we wanted to make sure that the player understands that they are about to reload the location, because loading times were pretty long when the game came out. But we added like disguise it with humor. So we are asking the player if you are ready, but Geralt is like, how many times do you need to ask me? I said I was ready. So, but at the same time, it's a moment when the player can just, decide not to. And here we are building the tension. So this swamp, as you can see, this is a foggy location, and maybe I don't know if you did notice, but the location name is Swamp Forest, and you may see that's redundant because swamp is the type of wetland that can support trees as opposed to marsh, which is the type of wetland that cannot support trees. But so why it's not called swamp but swamp forest? That's because when the location was made and put into the game, we hoped to have more locations in the game that we ended up with, and one of the planned but then abandoned locations was called swamp cemetery. So there was swamp forest and swamp cemetery, but we ended up just with this swamp.
Wet feet. That's all I'll find here.
Yeah, exactly. And here is a nosy dog, and this is also something that we did, and that is very Witcher 1-like, because the dog just follows us. There's no quest connected to it, and the dog probably will die pretty soon, killed by a monster, and that's just it. And because we realized that we could do something like this, and then we were like, shouldn't we like add a quest, give the player an opportunity to speak with the dog or speak about the dog, or maybe give the dog to someone, but we didn't have time for that, and we said no, just let the dog follow the player and let the players just figure it out. They will do what they want to do, and yeah, we'll go back to this later.
Who are you? A witcher. Well, well. I thought Leo Bonhart had disposed of your kind. Never heard of him. Nor will you again. We all, in this profession, eventually meet someone better than us. What profession is that? Bounty hunter. What brings you here?
Leo Bonhart was a character from the Witcher books, and he was a mean bounty hunter who had the habit of hunting witchers. So he was a witcher killer, a very good swordsman. But he was killed by Ciri. And good riddance.
I'm here about the notice. Finally. Got the hides? I'll return when I have the pelts. I'll be here.
As you can see, this model with different textures and different heads was the Royal Huntsman in Chapter 1. Vincent Mice is based on the same model, and here the Hunter is also based on the same model, but they have different texture versions and slightly different heads.
Farewell.
And here is Grandpa, and we won't be talking to this guy for reasons that will become apparent later. And now we're entering the swamp, and as you can see, it's very easy to get lost here because everything looks just the same, just trees and fog and reeds and some paths, and at least now we can look around. But think about it, that is the default view that should have been in the game from the very beginning. So it's very hard to navigate in this location, and I know that many players. Yeah, so we added. A girl just said it looks like a brickmaker's village. It doesn't. We added a lot of like those Geralt comments on things, so the player knew where they were, because the location, just everything looks the same here. But it was almost ready when we started implementing the game, and there was not much room for change. And going back to the nosy dog, my heart always breaks when it dies, killed by a monster, and when you read on the internet people are reloading the game like a dozen times to save the dog. We will just lose him. We'll go into a building, and when we will go out, the dog will be gone, and let's hope he found a safe spot and survived. But first, just talk to someone.
Settle down here. We could use a warrior. More elves in the area. I fear they plan some ill.
Greetings.
Greeting, my lord, greeting.
What's with you?
Not now, but when I was 6, a brick fell on me head. I was playing a game where you toss a brick in the air, counted 5 and ran so the brick wouldn't bop you. Never was good at counting. They say the brick made me stupid.
Mm-hmm.
If you need help getting somewhere, you come to the right place. See, I never get lost.
Then this must be my lucky day. Tell me about the swamp.
The swamp's wide and deep, with mosquitoes up your arse. Oh, they've been stinging lately.
Who lives here?
Living here, we got druids, brickmakers, lumberjacks, monsters, and mosquitoes. That's who. What do you want to hear about?
So, one of the funniest thing while writing dialogues for the game, that's not my dialogue, was that sometimes you just had to write an NPC who's basically like a tourist guide for the area, so his role is just to info dump on you, but you would like to make it funny or memorable or important in some way, just to to obscure the way that he's just info dumping. So the writers were coming up with very different characters and situations and anecdotes just to make the player focus on something else than the info dump. And the Baba guy with brick falling on his head is one of those NPCs and those dialogues.
Tell me about the brickmakers.
Brickmakers is us. Just there. Straight on, and there's the village. That's where you'll find the elders, who you need to oblige. We make bricks. Anything else you likes to know?
Where are the lumberjacks?
Lumberjacks sticks to where they logs. Where else would they sticks?
So where exactly do they log?
Should have said that from the start. South of the Brickmakers' village. Best follow that path past the horrid cave till you see stumps.
How about monsters?
We got monsters many. Will-o-wisps and mammons that keep a decent brickmaker from getting home when he's a bit tipsy. We got windwraiths and brownies with their little red caps.
Anything else?
Else we got mosquitoes.
Did I hear you mention mosquitoes?
Damn buzzing bloodsuckers. There's more every year. You'll find that most by the tower.
The tower?
Yeah, if you go straight west and then south by the hut, you're sure to reach the Mage's Tower. But it's shut, and there's nothing but blasted mosquitoes and some geelums there.
Where will I find the druids?
That's the furthest nook in the forest, with beautiful trees and wild beasts sitting with druidans. That'll be straight southwest, but you need to pass the loggers or take another path. Hard to say what.
Okay, so he gave us some directions. The problem is that I have no idea where north or south is here. We can open the map and see that we are just here. Here is a shrine of Melitele from some quest, I suppose. And here's one of the obelisks. And we know that we have to put the sephiras, the magic stones, into obelisks. So we will go there, but first we'll talk with the village elder. And that's her, probably.
A traveller from distant lands. He has lost something he now seeks.
What shall I call you?
Vasker, the village eldress.
Geralt, Witcher. What do the villagers do?
We mine clay and produce bricks.
I see none working.
Hard times. Speak. What do witchers do?
We solve problems.
Want to ask something?
Do you have monster problems?
Indeed. Creatures have made nests in the clay pits.
What are they like?
As if drowned, then resurrected.
Drowners. I can finish them.
We're poor folks. I can pay no more than 50 orens.
That's enough. Where are they?
Towards the landing, but take the other road at the fork. At its end you'll spot our tormentors. Want to ask something?
Kalkstein, an alchemist, claims you know about the mage from the tower and the guard.
A powerful sorcerer once lived in the swamp, an apprentice his only companion. All changed when a woman entered his life.
A fairy tale beginning.
But the end differs, for a wicked woman she was. He fulfilled all her wishes and she took advantage of his might.
Who was she?
Unimportant.
I'm listening.
Blind love spelled the mage's demise. He called upon forces he could not control and died.
What about the guard?
The mage's lover could tell fortunes, and the mage created a deck of extraordinary tarot cards. He illustrated a future event on each card.
And?
Golems guarded the mage's dwelling. Those spared the ravages of time survive at the cemetery, where they remain motionless.
One of them is the guard?
Yes, the most powerful golem acted as sentry. The tower card depicts how the golem can be revived. In turn, this will open the tower anew. Take this card. I no longer need it.
And if we had more budget, we'll probably see a tarot card like full screen, something like this, but we didn't have the budget, so it's right here, and it doesn't really look like the tower card, or maybe it does if you squint a bit. And the story about the mage and the woman that was his demise is a nod toward Arthurian legends and Merlin and Morgana.
Want to ask something?
What do you do here?
We mine clay to form bricks we bake in ovens.
You don't find this place dull?
Life is good. In the evenings we tell stories and play dice.
Maybe we can play sometime.
Want to ask something?
I'm still working on the drowners that haunt your pits.
Make haste, white-haired one.
Don't get anxious. You'll be back to normal in no time.
As the saying goes, he will be naive and humble as a saint, but will bear your enemies on his sword.
I'm not interested in that. I'll do it for payment.
Want to ask something?
Okay, I think we asked everything we needed to. We'll go inside just to lose the nosy dog, so it survived. And yeah, here's a creepy altar. So yeah, the brickmakers seem to be worshipping some swamp thing. I don't know if there's anyone worth talking to here.
My father and grandfather baked bricks. No doubt.
So now we'll go and put the first stone into the obelisk.
The obelisk seems ancient. Pity I don't understand these runes. Saphira and obelisk merged. The old spells still work.
And now, as you can see, we got the location of all obelisks marked on the map. And this is totally my fault. I'm taking full responsibility for this terrible quest. If you remember what we were talking with Kalkstein about, he said that there is a circle of magical stones around the tower, and you just have to put the stones into the obelisk. That there is a circle of obelisks, but it's not a circle, because I thought, well, circle is boring, and at that time I was playing a lot of and reading a lot of pen and paper RPGs, like World of Darkness, Mage the Ascension, Cult, the Swedish RPG, and I was pretty interested in the history of European magic and occultism, and from that I got this idea that maybe we could find inspiration in inspiration.
The lords are coming.
Shove off.
Who's above the lords?
What is this crap?
Okay, so here's some strange little boy.
These boggy holes must be clay pits.
Yeah, as I said, Geralt says a lot of obvious things so the player wouldn't get lost. So I thought maybe we could take inspiration from Kabbalah because Sapkowski also took some inspiration from European history and we thought that maybe, Kabbalah is a magical tradition and there's this concept of this tree of life which is like that there are like 10 elements governing the reality and they are put together in a nice like flowchart that is called tree of life. And I thought maybe we could use like the shape of this tree of life and place those 10 obelisks and call them names inspired by Kabbalah. And it was a really good idea on paper. And the way we do it, or I did it, was that I printed the map of the location, make a cutout with the shape of the tree of life, and was moving the cutout around the map so that the some important part of the locations were in the middle and that all the 10 obelisks that they all were placed on a place that is reachable, that has walk mesh. It took some planning, then we placed the obelisks and it looked pretty okay, but the location wasn't designed for that. The location wasn't designed for anything really, to be honest. So as we will be hunting those obelisks and trying to find them, you will see that they are standing in totally random places, like the location is not leading to them. It's a terrible level design, but yeah, I thought it would be, fun.
Want to ask something?
I've killed the drowners.
You showed us mercy, yet I deceived you. I can offer no money, but you cannot leave unrewarded. Take this amulet. It's Kezath, the symbol of mercy.
Will do.
Wonderful. Now we prepare for the coming of the lords.
Who are these lords?
We worship them and receive the grace of those from the eternal deep.
I keep thinking of the fish people. Vodunoi.
How dare you? Those names offend the lords.
So, so the brickmakers are sort of worshipping. It's a slightly Lovecraftian theme because it looks like they are worshipping the deep ones or some fish people in a really creepy way.
The water lords and I.
Let's discuss a job.
Please help. One of our children is missing. The boy has always returned quickly until now.
Perhaps the water beast ate him.
Blasphemy. The druids must...
Okay.
All right, I'll look for the boy.
You shall be elevated and your foes vanquished. The world shall humble itself, for who can be above the lords?
Okay, so we have creepy brickmakers, and now we'll go and see. The lumberjacks. They are probably somewhere here, and we start collecting or collecting those Sephira obelisks. I think the boy that was walking here might be the boy that went missing. And as you can see now, brickmakers are using this clay pits, and it is sort of a bit like the mechanism, the system in Witcher 3 when you kill monsters in a location, and then people come and start living in the location. So where are we? We are somewhere here. So, and so we started with the idea that sometimes we kill monsters and people start using this place, but it was not a system, it was just something that happened, and in Witcher 3 it became a system. So that's pretty okay, I think. I like to see how some, ideas we had in the first Witcher, how they matured over the next two games. Because here in the first Witcher, many things are like pretty random, to be honest. Okay. So, and this location at the very beginning, when it was done for the first time, only the paths were walkable. You couldn't enter water at all, and that was of course worse than chapter 1. Like, the location was practically unusable, and it looked very constraining, like as players, when we were testing these locations, we were extremely frustrated that you couldn't just wade through the water, because the water was lava. And we managed, we still had time to do some changes. So this is like the location where you can walk on water, which is nice, I must say. But at the same time, okay, the obelisk is somewhere there. At the same time, as you can see, the location is, well, I really don't like exploring it, and I'm really happy that we are playing on easy, because as you can see, for the combat, like the isometric camera is the best, but for looking around, it's awful. So I'm switching between isometric camera for combat and over-the-shoulder camera for exploration, and this is pretty tiresome after some time. But what can we do? That's my penance for making the Sephiroth quest. And the other thing, we will put the stone here, and I will show you something. Do we have oath? We don't have it. Okay, we don't have it because we have to go to the Shrine of Melitele. Okay, because there are some Sephiroths to be found there. Okay. So as you can see, I'm using the map. I'm using the map markers, because otherwise I would be hopelessly lost here, and so not the best level design.
This reminds me of something.
Yeah,
There's an altar at the base.
We'll make a sacrifice of food, hoping it will be the right choice. And we received 3 Sephira. We received 3 Sephira because, as I said, we were tired of finding, more ways for the player to. Oh Jesus, the camera. And the isometric camera is, of course, colliding with the trees and spinning around. So, as I said, over-the-shoulder camera for exploration, and
obelisk merged. The old spells still work.
and as you can see, let's take a look at the quest. We have those quest phases. I placed the Gevra stone in the corresponding monolith. So every monolith has its own quest saying I placed the name of those particular stone in the obelisk. And the quest system in Aurora Engine was that we had to make like a separate phase for every obelisk, but we couldn't like loop them. I am pausing this video to let you know that I'm about to tell something not very clever and not factually correct because I remembered it wrong. So we had to... So the quest looks like this. First you have 10 phases, because we don't know in what sequence players will be putting in the stones. With like take 10 phases with 10 Sephiras, and from every phases when we place the stone, then the flowchart splits to 9 more with the Sephiras that were used for every of those 10, and then from those 9 it splits to 8. So there is like I think well over 100 phases in this quest, because it couldn't be done any other way. So 10 times 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times, yeah. So we can calculate how much it is. And that, of course, absolutely wasn't true, because later I calculated that, and if we had done it this way I described, the quest would have over 3 million phases, which was not true. So I think we did it that way, that we had 10 groups, and each group had 10 phases, one for every obelisk, and the player, if the player completed any one of those 10 phases, the quest progressed to the next group and waited until the player completed any one of those phases. And that's how we did this 10 Sephiroths. So it was exactly 100 phases just for putting stones into obelisks, and it had to be done mostly by hand, because the Aurora Engine quest system wasn't really great on copying and pasting. So still a lot, but not as much as I described. And all that for such an unassuming end that we can now see, look at the quest, and see that I've placed off stone in the obelisk. Yeah, so to achieve that result, we had to make like hundreds of quest phases, and I wasn't the one doing it, so I was just testing and debugging it, but I wasn't responsible for putting like those mind-numbing amount of of quest phases into the engine. I'm lucky that way.
A cave entrance.
Yeah, a cave entrance, because otherwise it wouldn't be visible. So we had to comment on that. Geralt is very talkative in this here on the swamp, and that's because without those comments, we really would have no idea what's going on and where we are. And there are some wolves here. Okay, so let's kill some wolves. They were attacking me first. I'm not, I don't like killing endangered species, but they attacked me first. You've seen that. Okay. What do we have here in this? I suppose that we have a Sephira to be found here. And when we take a look at the map, you can see that all caves are using the same layout, just like all crypts are using the same layout, and we are just blocking some parts of each cave with like fake walls and stuff like this to make it look like different caves. Caves, like plural. And we'll go and see. So yeah, just right here it is blocked, but in another instance of the cave the corridor might have been open and we would found something there. But we are looking for the Sephira that should have been here. Is it the whole cave? No. There's something over there. And I really got lost in the caves very easily because everything looks the same here. Oh, a wraith or something like this. A new opponent and a dangerous one, I think. Okay, but we managed to kill him. And runs were like a species mentioned in one of the or two of the short stories. We don't really know much about them. They're just like a part of a mysterious and long extinct race, and we just wanted to pay the tribute to that part of the world building. So we added Ran sarcophagus and just to hint that there were such, creatures here. No. I was hoping to learn a new sign, but right now I'm fighting with wolves. Please. Bad dog. Okay. So yeah, that's the problem with most of the fights in Witcher 1. That's the enemies spawn a bit randomly, and they pursue you even if you are trying to do something else. So yes, and we have another sign, as Quen. That's the magical shield. Okay. So we learned something today. a new sign. We gathered or found a new Sephira. we got hopelessly lost. I got hopelessly lost in the cave. And as I said, over the shoulder camera for exploration, isometric camera for the combat, and we got some wolf pelts. We have a quest about wolf pelts, and they also will come in handy in another situation. And I got lost because I wanted to go this way, and there are no characteristic points in the swamps, at least, and we're still not going the way I wanted to go. And as I said, I'm getting hopelessly lost here on the swamps each and every time I'm playing. And if I weren't playing on the easy setting, that would be a bother, because all those, monsters would be killing me all the time. I would have to reload and so when I was testing the game, and I was playing the game over and over at some point at the production to test if the quests play out properly, if the dialogues play out properly, if the story is what we want to say, if it all works out as it should, as we wanted it to. I was using some cheats like insta-kill and stuff like this because the combat was not balanced yet, and I just wanted, to get over the combat quickly, because I was interested in testing other parts of the game. But yeah, but still the swamp were a bother. They were a bother, and to be honest, they still are. At the same time, what is happening here? A clearing. So maybe the lumberjacks will be there. And if I weren't able to make the shortcut through the water and would be forced to go along the paths, that would be even worse. I must say. Oh, that's someone was asking me.
Who are you?
Geralt the Witcher, a friend.
And we'll see.
And you?
Yaren. I speak for the lumberjacks.
Can we talk?
Speak.
Any jobs for a Witcher?
Despite the danger, the beasts leave us alone.
So nothing?
Perhaps. For someone willing to take a risk.
I'm listening.
But the Begatic plant should be blooming in the swamp.
I understand it's valuable.
The drug it makes is. Collect some blossoms and we could both earn a little.
I wade through mud, face danger, then we split the profit?
You don't know what Begatip looks like, nor where to sell it.
Okay, let's play herbalist.
Great. Begatip blossoms look like red orchids. Clumps grow throughout the swamp. Sell them to the ferryman. Ask those living in the swamp if you can't find any.
I'll deliver the flowers to the ferryman as soon as I find them.
Okay, so we have lumberjacks here, but it's raining, so they are probably hiding somewhere. So maybe we'll meditate a bit, because we learned some new stuff, like we have this new sign, and we'll just spend our talents to learn Quan, and then maybe we'll talk to lumberjacks a bit, or at least try to listen to them if they are here.
5,000 ewes in 3 months? My ass. Impossible. Even working nights. Schedules.
This might be like venting our schedule we had while doing the game, because we crunched a lot.
Yaren holds the monopoly on herbs. Swore he'd rip out the legs of any court trading them.
And you agree to that?
Cursed druids will soon tether themselves to trees.
Yeah, this is, some druids are environmentalists, and this is a very Sapkowski thing, where he uses fantasy to mirror some real-life events or happenings. And I'll try to follow them just for a moment more, because they have one pretty funny chat between them, but we'll have to find two lumberjacks talking. And if not, we'll maybe manage to do it later. Okay, maybe we'll go back to them, because there's of course there's a how to say, Monty Python reference somewhere here, as you can imagine, because lumberjacks. If you are fans of Monty Python, you will know what I'm talking about. And again, we're looking for another obelisk. Okay, here's one. And as you can see, those monsters are called Bloodsucker, and this just means bloodsucker or leech in Dutch. So that's how Sapkowski was naming many monsters, just using pretty obvious names in different in many European languages. As I said, many of the names in the Witcher books are vaguely Netherlands in feeling. Okay, Vina, yeah, we still have to find the obelisk. And you can see here what the problem is, that because those obelisks were placed by a scheme that I devised in places that can be reached, and that more or less form the shape of the Kabbalistic tree of life. They are absolutely not part of any sensible level design. So we'll just have to look around and look at the map, and that's not the best design. I know, let me tell it that way. But right now we are in the Druid's Grove.
Huge trees, strange symbols, tamed beasts, even a dryad. This must be the Druid's Grove.
And as you can see, druids are basically reverent from the first chapter, but with other heads and different textures.
I seek a boy missing from the brickmaker's village.
I've not seen him.
The brickmakers claim you changed children into dryads.
Fools! Only adults are accepted here. Children would only trouble us. As for dryads, ask them yourself.
I'm looking for beggartick blossoms.
We can supply the herb at a reasonable price. Talk to the man who tends the holy oak.
Farewell.
Okay, so druid providing some drugs, but I think we need to gather some hellebore for Shani. And who tends the holy oak? Where is the holy oak?
Not all swamp creatures are dangerous. Many are endangered.
As I said, druids are environmentalists.
What is it?
Aren't those wyverns?
Wyverns indeed.
How did you master them?
Tamed them through hard work. I guarantee they're not drugged or their wings clipped. See for yourself.
Any accidents?
Only the fool who tried to brush a wyvern's teeth.
I see.
Any other questions?
So, as you can see, that was a very Andrzej Sapkowski-like funny little story.
Farewell.
And another obelisk. But what we don't have? No, we don't have the stone yet. Which is a shame. And those wolves are friendly.
Are you a fool seeking a magical strength-giving beverage?
Yeah, this was totally Asterix and Obelix reference. Druids, strength,
Return in the morning.
Potion, and we learned another Witcher sign. We are progressing a lot, and there is an important character here, Yevin the elf.
Welcome to the Druid's Grove, traveller. Greetings. Marvellous place. I come here when I need to think, and the peacefulness helps clear my mind. Even a witcher is welcome here. One more word about my accepting my otherness and finding the home I never had, and I'll cry like a baby. Sarcasm only serves to expose your inhibitions. Ooh, an elven psychoanalyst. I spent decades among humans. I find your kind as complicated as the schematics of a flail. Decades? Live that long among humans, you're bound to become more like them than you ever wanted to be. Are you speaking from experience, Monster Slayer? A sharp wit. I'm Geralt. My name's Yevon. Let's talk. Yes.
As you can see, Yevon is halfway between those two approach to elven visual design in the game. So he is a bit like Nomads of the Steppes with those horn thing, but at his belt. But at the same time, it's one of the newest model. And the head and the swords and the armor he has on his upper torso is more like those more European elves. So he's a unique model, and he will be in the story. He will be like the face of the elven resistance movement, just like Siegfried is the face of the Order of the Flaming Rose. And when we were writing the second chapter, Yevon was supposed to appear only in this chapter. He was supposed to appear only here. We had no plans for him in chapter 3 or in chapter 4. There were plans that we will meet other elven commanders there, so we thought about a number of elven NPCs, different NPCs, but in the final game they are all Yevon, so he took over all those parts, and I think for the good of the story, and we'll get to this later.
I'm looking for Witcher's work. Then I'll ask you a favor. I need a letter delivered to Vizima, where I'm not welcome. As a Witcher, you should find little difficulty tending to monsters on the way and avoiding trouble with the guards at the city gates. Who's the letter to? I'd be obliged if you could deliver it to Vivaldi, a dwarf living in town, and then return his reply to me. I'll do it. I'm going to Vizima anyway. Thank you.
And the thing is that those quests could be done in a very different order. So it was possible that
Can you tell me about your kind? What makes you elves tick?
That we first met Yevon, and only then Vivaldi.
For the trampled heather, for blood that has been shed, for fate that has been destroyed. I'm not sure I'm understanding this. For death inflicted by sword, for the pain of others and our own. See you later.
So he's a poet and a warrior. Okay, and there was a dryad here. You have probably seen a naked green lady in the background when we were talking with the druid. So let's talk to her. And yes, in the US version, she has those vines over her bosom, so the nipples wouldn't be visible.
I seek a boy. The brickmakers claim druids seized him to transform him into a dryad.
Only girls can be dryads, no boys here.
Just wanted to make sure.
I would show you where young dryads come from, but...
Yes?
I wish to remain faithful to the Brochelon tradition. We only take in men to procreate, and just the strong and agile. We want the girls born of their seed to inherit their father's fortitude.
I've been accused of many things, but lack of physical prowess is not among them.
I believe you. But the ritual requires a man to prove himself a skilled hunter. Bring me a wolf's pelt.
Okay, so the fact that she's naked is pretty shocking for today's standards, because although, let's say, in Baldur's Gate 3, you can walk around naked, but that's your decision, and here it's just like how she is. And although it is mythologically correct, I would say, I'm not sure if this is how dryads in Sapkowski's books, let's say, how they were clothed. It's not really stated there. And in the European version, she's more explicitly naked than in the American one. And yeah, luckily we have some wolf pelts, because why not?
You have proved yourself a skilled hunter. Yet one obstacle remains.
What's that?
Witchers are sterile. We dryads don't acknowledge intimacy without procreation.
Intimacy without procreation can be good.
How?
Geralt.
Sex relieves stress, improving body and mind.
We dryads must be vigilant and agile to defend our home. And my body demands love.
Would you like to be with me?
Yes, for the day.
Come.
Oh, that's very awkward. But from the designer's point of view, you can see that those like sexual encounters are like small puzzles. You have to find, the right item and choose the right dialogue options, and bam, you have your memoir or something to remember. This was, if I remember correctly, this was the first romance card that was done for the game, and compared to the others, it is pretty subtle, let's say. It was used on the cover of one of the Polish gaming magazines when the game was advertised, because it's before its release, because game for adults in 2007, so boobies. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to finding the way to open the gate to the tower. We are somewhere here. Hokma should be there. Okay. So we'll try and find another. And maybe Elder Druid
Good night.
knows something. No. The druid said I should speak to a druid tending to the holy oak, but I have no idea which of the trees is the oak, about the begatrix roots. So yeah, and all the druids look more or less the same. So it's
Return in the morning.
So it's a guessing game. So let's ignore this for a moment and let's go and try to find another obelisk. And those wolves are not friendly at all. So close to the druid encampment. You bad boys. But you know, they are put here because the players needed to be able to find some wolf pelts for romantic reasons, as you probably noticed a few moments ago. And yes, are we lost yet? A bit. We're lost a bit. I'll try to follow. And as you can see, the opponents are of different heights. Some are, you know, like taller than Geralt. Some are shorter than Geralt. So the sword attacks were designed in such a way that over the whole animation, the sword goes on like over the head, on the waist level and below the waist. So no matter how tall the opponent is, so it looked like the sword could hit him or hit them. Because the combat is not physics based, so the sword is not really hitting the opponents. It's just, you know, calculating some probabilities in the background and dealing some damage. But for it to make to look natural, the animation is prepared in such a way that tall and short opponents look like they have been or could have been hit.
Emerged. The old spells still work.
Okay, where is the next? Okay, let's go and see the stone golem. And because there is a lot of monsters here, let's just use the isometric camera. But as you can see, it is a nightmare. It is a nightmare. The camera is bouncing off trees and oh yeah.
Odd place. Looks like these giants froze mid-motion. Must have been some time ago.
And you might ask, what giants? Well, those giants here. And if you are a skilled player, you could see that those here are not objects but part of the location, but this one here looks like it's an object because it highlights. So probably we'll be fighting him at some point of the story. Now let's go and find the beggar tick. And that's probably somewhere there, maybe. No, somewhere there. So, yeah. This is the core swamp experience. Getting lost and fighting some monsters. Gathering herbs. Wet feet, I suppose. And that's the Witcher's life. I may even collecting those remains because I have a contract on drowned dead, so I'm just. There are some ghouls there eating a corpse. We'll kill them in a moment. Okay. So I'm glad that we're playing on easy, because that could be a really bothersome combat. But right now, I think we'll manage. Okay. And there are some dead bodies here. We'll investigate them in a moment. So we are having this like through the swamp right now, following the obelisks and sharing some little stories and romancing dryads. Okay. Judging by the number of XPs, experience points I'm getting, those were hard opponents. I don't really remember if there was a story about the hunter and the girl. I don't remember if there's supposed to be some story about it or not. And here we have some ruins. It looks like a ruined tower. We have some Begotic and some drowners.
Looks like this tower collapsed on its own. I guess the swamp's not the best place for buildings this big.
And as you noticed, Geralt is delivering like exposition and explaining what is happening on. So this is one of the towers that collapsed. And to be honest, it's the location was older than the version of the script that we were working on. So I don't really know why those towers look the way they look. So we added some like backstory to it. Here's collapsed towers and Begotic, and before us another monolith. And as you can see, here we have some deeper parts of the swamp that couldn't be traversed. So when we decided that the water should be walkable, we realized that at some places it is too deep, and we didn't really wanted to change it. So we decided to mark the places where the water is not walkable, like with those branches and stuff. But the graphics on the computer I'm playing is not very good, so we see them only when it's too late, and it just adds to the core swamp experience. Okay, where are we? We are somewhere here. So here's the Mage's Tower. Let's see if we can see it. Yeah, it's something is there. We'll try to reach it, but the way is blocked. And we are here back to where the golems were. To be honest, I am completely and hopelessly lost right now. And this part didn't change over the last 18 years. Take a look at how the drowners are spawning. Like there's this splash of water, and only then the drowner emerges, and that's a quirk of the engine that it wasn't very good with like merging animation and FX. So the FX is played, the spawn FX is played at the very moment the character or the monster is spawned. But drowners have this animation where they like emerge from water, but technically they are already spawned when the animation is played. So so that's why we first have this effects of splashing water, and only then the drowner emerges from beneath the water. And for some reason it was too bothersome or too hard to to fix, and it stayed that way even in the enhanced edition. So this they are not perfectly synchronized. Now Tipperat was the one that Lowraden still has. So let's go and see the Mage's Tower. Oh no. Please get lost. So this is not the greatest experience, like playing on the swamps, and I know that you will agree with me if you played the game, but at the same time it is sort of a nice, or maybe not nice, but it's a change of pace when compared to the Temple Quarter. So the Temple Quarter was like the default safe location for this chapter, and the swamp was like the default dangerous location for the chapter. And at some point we thought that maybe the player should first finish all quests in Vizima and then go and explore the swamp. But if we learn something from the first chapter, is that it is fun when the player, or when I as a player, can choose in which sequence I want to do my quests, because in the first version of chapter 1, those 3 quests for the village elders were supposed to be done in a sequence. So in the first version the sequence was forced. You first had to I don't know, do Odo and then Mikul and then Haren, but we realized that it was unnecessary and not very fun. So we changed it. We allowed the player to do those 3 quests in a sequence they liked, and it proved to be like a better way. And since that moment we've decided that each time that we could make some parts of the game parallel and let the player choose the sequence, if we could do this, we'll do this, and that's why we decided to, oh no, I will be that, or I won't be that. Let's sorry, I'll try not to die on you, because reloading would be terrible right now. I don't want to reload and play play this sequence again. I'm sorry. I got distracted talking. And you cannot be distracted on the swamp. Even on easy. Okay. So we decided that we will just allow the players to choose when they want to go to the swamps and when they want to go to Vizima. And so this chapter is just a tangle of parallel quests and tracking what the player knows, what Geralt knows, and what has already been done, and what is still to be done. It was pretty hard, to be honest. But I think at the same time it creates this sense of freedom and the core, and this is like the core experience of the first Witcher. I think the chapter 2 is the core Witcher 1 experience, because I'm just, although the world is not an open world, I get this feeling that I'm in control, that I can choose what to do, and that there's this huge world with a lot of stuff that's happening, and I think that it turned out pretty well. We missed some obelisk, and I didn't manage to find the tower. That's just terrible level design. But if we are here, let's go and check this mysterious little cottage. I wonder what's inside. I know what's inside. Inside there are some pretty grisly stuff. Like
God-human bones? Brains? I'm gonna puke.
So yes, someone is like eating people here. And in the cupboard, no, we're not taking the meat. I am sorry, we're not taking the meat. And as I said, many times already, like Witcher 1 is sort of like best of Andrzej Sapkowski remix, and we are taking all possible motifs from the book and just reusing them in a creative way. We'll go back to that later. And here is Ends of Hour, the book that we've already bought from Vivaldi, but in the first iteration of this chapter, this was the only place when it could be found, but it turned out to be pretty bothersome and hard to find. So to spare the player like the suffering, we decided to add this opportunity just to brute force the quest and just to buy the book from Vivaldi without going to the swamp forest. So we are somewhere here, and right in front of us there should be another obelisk, but of course the way is blocked, and there are some drowners because why not? But I'm really determined. Yeah, and another monster. I must say that this is a dangerous location, as I said. Oh, great. But we don't have this yet. And where is the tower? The tower is somewhere here. Okay, so we are almost near the tower. We'll just kill the drowned dead. And all the other drowners. So some groups of monsters are quest monsters, and they spawn only once during the quests. But some monsters are just like, you know, generic monsters in the area, and they are here just to, you know, to grind and to provide alchemical ingredients, and they usually respawn once a day. So here's the tower, and it's closed. Okay, we still have some monsters to kill, and then we'll go back to sightseeing. Okay, so the door is closed. As you can see, it doesn't really look like a, you know, magically sealed door, because as I said, the location was already done when we started writing the story. Let's take a look at the tower. It looks pretty okay, but again, only in the over-the-shoulder camera that we added during the production, and in the default camera view, we would never see the top of the tower. So this was a pretty eccentric level design, I must say, but it was written from something from the previous version of the script. I haven't read it all, but there was a magical tower on the swamp, and but in the previous version of the script, there were no magical stones, just, you know, how do you call a knocker, like this metal ring on this on the door that you knock, and it was a magical knocker, and it asked a question, a puzzle, and the player and the girl was supposed to answer the puzzle of the knocker, but in the script it was not mentioned what the question actually was and what the answer actually was. So as I said, it might have been an okay story, like the previous version of the script, but it was not suited for the game, because it left too many things unsaid, in my opinion, and at some point one could wonder about the usefulness of such approach. And in Polish, like, the puzzle of the knocker sounded, there was another layer, because it sounded a bit, you know, silly, because the answer to the puzzle of the knocker in Polish brzmi rozwiązanie zagadki kołatki, so it sounds like some, you know, children rhymes. Yeah. Maybe here we'll be able to leave this cursed place, because right now I hope we will be going slowly to Vizima. We've seen a lot here, and nope. Where are we? Oh, we are here. But we're trying to. Let's try and go. So yeah, as you can see, this is what's the basic problem, or what was the basic problem with the map, that when you could only go along the paths, the traversal became really, really tiresome. Okay, there's an elf here, So probably we have some Scoia'tael camp here, if I remember correctly.
Come back tomorrow.
Okay, that means it's night, and many NPCs here have this like different version of the dialogue. Come back tomorrow, and this means that you can only do business with them during the day. But let's...
I'm sleepy.
Yeah, everyone is sleepy.
Come back tomorrow.
I don't think there's a quest here for us at the moment. Yeah, and we'll have to go back here. Okay. Maybe let's meditate till morning. Maybe the location will be a bit safer. It should be.
Humans are intruders. We aim to win back our world.
What do you mean?
Some of our greatest died combating humans. First when your kind arrived in these lands, then recently when we again concluded we couldn't abide mankind's tyranny. Have you seen fenoued flowers? You couldn't find one because you can't distinguish it from common plants.
You're blinded by hatred. I've picked fenoued.
Show me. I sense it will be something amusing.
I have no idea what's going on here, so I'll just try to give her a flower and see if it's the right one. I don't remember. No, that wasn't the right one. So I don't really remember this part.
I have to pay a non-human tax. Nobody tells me what to do around here.
A diable la passe.
Yeah, so we again have some like exposition. Maybe that's the final word. Okay, we'll try to go back to where we started and leave the swamp for a moment. Nope, please. I'm really fed up with all those monsters here. I'll try just to ditch them, and maybe there is a safe place somewhere there. We'll try to stick to the paths. And yes, I'm back by the tower. I'm very sorry, you know, as a person designing this game and playing this game over and over during the production, I should have been, you know, more aware of the surroundings. But to be honest, I'm just lost. I'm just lost. This is the obelisk that won't work, and here. Okay. Here is the cannibal's cottage. So maybe this will be a path back to Brickmaker's village. And there should be... Yeah, there's one more obelisk here. Okay. We'll try and find it in one of those random places where I place them. Okay, yeah, so it's here.
Saphira and obelisk merged. The old spells still work.
Okay. So we're back to the Brickmaker's village. Where is... Here's Vaska. And the creepy cultists.
The Water Lords are nigh.
The druids didn't take your boy. If I find him, I'll see to his safe return.
The boy is gone. A warning to all. We must prepare.
Prepare for what?
The Water Lords are nigh.
Farewell.
Okay, so let's leave the Brickmaker Doomsday cult and try to go back. Yeah. And Gramps.
Yes, son.
Any idea who inhabits the water hut on the island beyond the village?
Well, that's my hut, son. Why'd you ask?
So, in the Witcher books, there is a section when young Ciri is hopping between worlds, and in one of the worlds, she's found by an nice old guy living in a cottage in the woods, and the guy turns out to be a cannibal and tries to eat Ciri, and Ciri kills him. And it was a wonderfully creepy story, and we decided to steal it and use it here. So it's not the cannibal grandpa from the books, but he is heavily inspired by the books.
You're a damn cannibal.
Quiet, lad. I don't peek into your bowl.
We could have killed him, but we don't have time for that. And
what is it? I'm here about the notice. Finally. Got the hides? I do. 10 wolf pelts. Wonderful. The title of Royal Jägermeister will be mine. Else, I'll become a mercenary. Farewell.
Okay, so we help the hunter. Finish the contract, and now let's meditate till night, because we have some drowners to kill here for Luvarden, and then we will be ready to leave this wretched place. Yes. And as I said before, the spawn points are located in such a way that sometimes the monsters catch us in the most unfavorable moment, like when we are still waking up. Is this all? I'm not sure. Probably not, because as I said, these are quest monsters, so probably there's a number of them to be killed. Okay, that should be the last one, I hope. Yeah, so I killed all of them, and now I can finally go back.
What do you want?
Yaron sends his greetings. I have the herbs.
Finally.
Here, 5 beggartick blossoms, as agreed.
400 orens, and give my best to Yaron.
I'll be sure to.
What do you want?
So I probably became a drug supplier, but you know, a boy has to make his living.
Take me to the other side.
Time is money. Made up your mind? Ready to go?
I wouldn't have paid you otherwise. Take me to town.
So we had this is, I think, the only moment when we have this, like, cutscenes for transition between two big levels, and yes, oh, it's night, so Huvarden is not here. Probably some drowners are here. No, I hope not. So let's just meditate till noon. No, there are some drowners. That's Witcher's life. Okay. I hope that's enough, so let's meditate till 8 o'clock or something like this. And we'll be slowly finishing this episode. Thank you for staying me for the terrible experience, swamp experience. That was not the best location. And I think many of you have their own traumatic experiences from the swamp.
It's raining. Nothing personal against witches, but you shouldn't walk the city.
It's raining.
Not good.
Okay, so I'm stuck here with some with some people, and hoping that maybe our quest NPC is not hiding here. Maybe he's somewhere up here. Yeah.
Yes?
The dock is safe now.
I knew you'd do it. Here's your payment.
Thanks.
Yes?
I have 500 orens, though it's quite a price to pay for a stone.
I sadly relinquish it, but my reputation would suffer, as would my business if I did not deal. The Sephira is yours.
Okay, and we'll
Yes?
buy a flower, because as you might remember, we have this deal with the working girls that if I present one with a flower, and let's try to do it in the most awkward way possible.
A little fornication?
Some serious...
No.
Don't frighten them.
You're doing...
They're a cust.
Good luck.
Okay, I was trying to talk with this lady.
I believe Carmen mentioned you.
Possibly. I did her a favor.
She also said what you'd bring.
So we have a flower for her.
I know somewhere we won't be interrupted.
I hope, because there's a lot of people around. So that's how Geralt decided to end his swamp adventure, and I think it will be a good moment for us to end this episode looking once more at the showcase location that is Dyke. And yeah, thank you for watching, and see you in the next episode when we will be trying to finish the investigation in Vizima. Thank you and goodbye.